All right, how we doing today, YouTube? Let's jump on. I want to tell you a little story. Like when I got into training, I started training in high school with like a summer, like freshman year. We did a little bit in middle school, but nothing much. So this was back in early 2000s, getting high school freshman, speed and strength class in the summers, getting oriented into that, getting kind of my first real introduction into training. And then we did it through sports. It was nothing special, nothing that was like a priority, speed and strength. Uh, Throughout high school, it was more just play the sports. And yes, that's beneficial. Play the sports, you're going to get better at the sports, hopefully, unless you just suck at sports. But again, speed and strength, that stuff can definitely helps build the qualities, the speed, the strength, the coordination, the power, balance, all that stuff. It's going to help, or hopefully it's helping build those physical qualities, even mental qualities, the confidence, that type of stuff to make you better. And hopefully you can take those qualities and use them in your sport and become a better athlete. Because if you're a better athlete, that's typically going to help you be better at sport. But back to my journey, I got really into training in college. I thought training could outweigh or my crappy diet or help me with from not being a fat turd. But I got into training. I still was eating like crap. I was sleeping like crap. I wasn't doing the other things outside of the gym, but I got hooked on training and started training. I was known as the guy who would stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, party, and then get up at 6 and go train. And how did I do this without sleep? I would just pound not energy drinks. I did those too, but not during the mornings. I was more pre-workout. So you'd have the pre-workout. You stayed up late, you slacked on sleep, so you're dead tired, but you know you got to get that workout in. So boom, slam a pre-workout was basically just a bunch of caffeine and a bunch of other chemicals and other junk. So majority of pre-workouts are complete garbage, complete trash. So I'm gonna tell you, you take them if you want them. Again, that's your choice. But I took them for a number of years throughout college, early after college, when I was still staying up late, but getting up early to train at 4 a.m. before I went to work at 6 or whatever it was. So I slammed these pre-workouts, but I still wasn't sleeping. And those pre-workouts, slamming them, just making sure I had the energy, the caffeine to get amped up and wired up for that training session to come. That became a crutch. I leaned on it. I relied on it. I made up stories that I told myself that I couldn't function without it. I needed that crutch to get me to the workouts. I needed that crutch to help me perform better in the workouts because I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't managing the stress and in preparing my body for the workouts without that sleep. So I was sleeping 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours on a good night. And then slamming pre-workout and relying on that and needing that to be my crutch to get me through. And so often we rely on these crutches in life. We lean on them. We use them as excuses why we don't want to change, because it's comfortable for us. It's what we know, because we're afraid to do something we're afraid to do something that we know is better for us, and we rely on this crutch. So, and again, I'm not talking about a crutch that, I broke my leg or tore my ACL, I need a crutch. Yes, you have those. That's a crutch too. And your goal is to get off that crutch. But with these other crutches, like my pre-workout, another crutch I had was drinking and partying. I used that as a crutch to think I needed to fit in with the crowd, fit in with the friends. And I used that as a crutch to say, I'm just doing it because my friends do it. And I relied on it. I thought it was what I wanted to do. But deep in the back of my mind, I knew I didn't want to do it. But I was afraid to kick that crutch and get rid of it. And this might sound familiar. Maybe you have a crutch. I'm sure you do. Maybe it's your daughter. And she uses a crutch of an ankle brace. Because these ankle braces, I see so many youth athletes, volleyball players, basketball players wearing ankle braces all the time when they don't need them. Oh, you rolled your ankle. Don't put it in an ankle brace. That's not going to do anything. It's just restricting your mobility. It's a crutch that you're leaning on because you think it's going to help prevent ankle injuries, help you from preventing rolling your ankle. You think it's going to make your ankle stronger, when in fact that crutch is actually making your ankle weaker and making you more reliant on that, and you take it off and then your ankles are weak, which in turn leads to weak knees, weak hips, weak upper body. Everything is kind of that domino effect. It's that crutch that your daughter or your son who's playing basketball, when they see him wearing ankle braces or knee braces or wrist braces or the tennis elbow sleeve or whatever it is, any kind of brace. A lot of people use those as crutches because they're promoted to prevent or help reduce injuries or fix injuries, when in turn they're just a crutch that is used, that you rely on, that you're just afraid because it becomes comfort. You're afraid to get rid of it and lose it. And we got to learn to kick that crutch, whatever it is. Maybe it's to you, maybe it's not just your kid, but every morning you're like me. I use the pre-workout to get my energy. Maybe every morning you have to hit the drive-through because you're dragging your body, that restless night of sleep. Got to get up. Oh, got a long day of work, so you drag your lifeless body, get in the car, hit the road, head down to Starbucks or Caribou, drive-through, order the double XL, triple latte, Jamocha, cappuccino, frappe, coffee, whatever the latest thing is. Basically, it's a pile of sugar with some coffee and just a bunch more extra added caffeine and crap in it. Again, it's the same thing as my pre-workout. You use this coffee, you slam it, and again, regular coffee is fine, but a lot of people use that as a crutch as well. You get that mug filled and you slam it. Oh, you got some energy. Boom, then you crash. Oh, some more coffee. Oh, some more. And you use that as a crutch to cover up the Band-Aid of what's really your issue. It's not that you need the coffee. It's that you don't sleep. It's that you don't provide your body the nutrition that it needs. These crutches that you're using are just covering up the bigger issue. They become a Band-Aid for the issue. You're not going to put a Band-Aid on a shotgun wound because it's not going to do anything. It's just still going to bleed out. So you got to dig to the root cause. You got to find what is actually causing it and fixing this. And then, but the real problem is most people just don't want to fix it. Most people are comfortable feeling like crap and garbage, so they're not gonna do anything about it. And that's where it comes in. You make that choice of wanting to kick that crutch and get rid of that crutch. Another one, maybe that you might be familiar with, a crutch that you have is like I had with the alcohol. The alcohol is a crutch for you. You have that long work week where, on Tuesday you're asking, is it Friday yet? Wednesday you're asking, is it Friday yet? Thursday you're asking, is it Friday yet? Friday it comes, it's finally Friday. This has been such a long, dreadful week. So grueling, so much work. All this stuff you're telling yourself, all these stories you tell yourself. So after work, where do you go? You head meet the guys down at the bar for happy hour. Because why? Because you deserve it. That long, grueling week. That alcohol just helps you take the edge off when it's not doing anything. There's no benefits to alcohol. And again, I'm just telling you what the truth is. If you want to do it, do it. Again, it's life, your choices. You can do what you want, but you think you got to let loose a little bit so you can relax and take that edge off with some brewskis, and because of that depressing job that you have, you hate, and it's just your escape. But your escape into an altered reality. It's not even real. It's just that feeling of dopamine hit. When then that wears off and you're hungover and you feel like crap for the next 2 days with a hangover. So what are you really accomplishing there? It's a crutch to cover up the bigger issue, which could be that you have a job that you hate and you don't enjoy and it's just miserable. So find something to do. Find something that you enjoy. Find something that is not that you have to escape from. What are you escaping from? This is life. You should enjoy your life. You should. I'm not saying every day is going to be great at work, but every day is not great. I do something I enjoy, but I still have to work. I don't. But I've kicked these crutches. I kicked the alcohol crutch. I kicked the crutch of caffeine and pre-workouts that I use, and got to the root causes of what was really causing the issues. The no sleep, so I didn't have any energy. So then what I do, I focus on getting sleep, being consistent with that. Is it perfect? Am I always getting a great night's sleep? Heck no. But I'd say 80-90% of the days I'm getting good sleep, which is a ton better than what I used to be. I don't drink anymore, so I feel better. I'm happier. I'm in a better mood. I don't wake up feeling like complete garbage on the weekends and get nothing accomplished then because I'm hungover. Because I don't need that stuff. These are just crutches. We just tell ourselves these stories that we need, when really we just need to dig deep and find the root cause. Another crutch I see a lot of people talk about is why they're overweight, why they're obese, why they're fat. Oh, it's because I got bad genes. I talked about this in a video. If you want to look up that I think it's titled "Your Genes Don't Make You Fat," or "Your Genes Aren't the Reason Your Genes Don't Fit," something like that. And it's true. Yes, genes can determine a lot of things. Your hair color, your hair. I think a lot of it has to do with your hair. Like if you have hair or you can't grow hair, you're follically challenged like I am, or your height, eye color. Those types of things are a lot of genetics. But more your environment plays a role in why you're obese, why you're overweight, why you can't burn fat or lose weight. That's your actions. That's your habits. It's not your genes. You're using that as an excuse. You're using that as your crutch. So I can't lose weight because my mom was fat, my dad was fat, my grandparents were big. You're just using that as an excuse instead of actually trying and putting the work in. That's what you really need to do. You use that as your crutch because you can just when the going gets tough. I don't have to do that. It's never going to work for me because I have bad genes. So what if you have bad genes? I don't have great genes. I'm not fat anymore. It's because I took that excuse, that crutch, and kicked it. And you can do it too. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully some of these things sound familiar. And I really want you to think in your life, what are some of these crutches, these excuses that you are using? It could be within your health. It could be within your family. It could be within your job. But mainly it's when you want to become I'm focusing more on the health, the fitness, the wellness, because, again, people I work with want to become athletes for life, people who can do everything and enjoy life to the fullest. They can get outside and play with the kids. They can go for a walk. They can walk the dog. They can jump in on a pickup basketball game and not worried about blowing a hamstring or tearing an ACL. Can those things happen? Of course, we can't prevent all that stuff. We can mitigate the risk by making sure our bodies are prepared. But you rely on these crutches, these excuses, and you use them to cover up what the real issue is, what the real problem is. The ankle or knee braces, wrist brace, all those things that you use, covering up the issue that, you're not really injured, but you can't rehab or get your body back to full strength after a rolled ankle, or you're worried about rolling your ankle. Then you take that ankle brace off, you have no ankle mobility, you can't move your ankle, and you're just weak. The caffeine, the sugary drinks, all that stuff, the pre-workouts, like I said myself, that's a crutch. The alcohol is a crutch to help you escape from this miserable life that you're living. All these beliefs that you have, it's these stories. Again, crutches are a lot of stories, and again, we tell ourselves these stories to make you feel better, to make you want to fit in, to make you feel like you're okay, because that's comfortable to you. And growth, change doesn't happen when you're comfortable all the time. You need to get out of that comfort zone. Do something new. Challenge yourself. Challenge your mind. Challenge your body. And that's how you truly change and become it. I'm telling you this because I've used these crutches for many years, especially with my fitness and health. And you do it long enough and it becomes a normal habit. and it can be tough to get out of it. It might not happen overnight. In fact, it's not going to happen overnight. So it does take time, because I can go from my experiences of kicking a lot of the crutches that I had and getting that stuff, eliminating that stuff, but finding out what I needed to do to better what the actual issues were, whether it's lack of sleep. I gotta prioritize sleep. I gotta, instead of slamming pre-workouts, I can set a consistent bedtime, go to bed at that time, get up at the same time, make my room cool and dark, and get a good mattress and good pillows, and take all electronics out of my bedroom. Those types of things that help me. What I currently do now became habits, and getting rid of the pre-workout. I haven't had pre-workout in probably, 10 years. Maybe 8, 7, 8, I don't know. But again, I don't drink caffeine. I was a caffeine drinker, pop a lot when I was younger, and again, pre-workouts. Never drank coffee, just didn't like it. But some tea, I've had tea here and there, so I haven't done caffeine in probably 2-3 years. Maybe again, the last caffeine I had was probably just some green tea, just because I don't need it. I feel so much better without it. Again, if it helps you, yeah, that's fine. But it's when it becomes a problem and becomes a crutch, and that's all you're drinking is caffeine, the Monsters, the other energy drinks, all that junk. That, again, I'm calling all this stuff junk because it is. If you want to do it, do it. Again, these are all choices, but you'd be better off without it. And it takes time to. If you're like me, you can just stop altogether. Some people might need to wean it off or whatever. So again, with the alcohol, I just gradually just slowed down and stopped drinking altogether, because it was just a waste of time, waste of money. And you feel good in that, whatever, that when you're doing it, then the next few days feel like garbage, and that's not fun. So, but again, you got to find out what the root cause is. And with the alcohol, the issue was, I got to fit in because everyone was doing it, so I thought I had to fit in. No, and then I realized I don't want to fit in. I don't want to be normal. Normal today is fat, out of shape, low energy, low testosterone, drinking, eating fast food, all that stuff, all the stuff you see, and celebrate these days. And it shouldn't be. Our government, big pharma, big food companies, they run everything, so they are going to promote all this garbage that's making them money. McDonald's, Burger King, all these places, when you don't need that stuff. It's cheaper to make food at home. I realized that, so I stopped eating out. It's cheaper to make food at home, and you learn to enjoy cooking. So getting these, if fast food is one of your crutches, or that lunch you go out with buddies, what if you get the root cause that maybe that's partially why you're overweight, because you eat fast food all the time. So you learn to cook a little bit. You make some better meals. They taste better. You're getting better nutrients, better quality food. And you do that for months and months and months, and then years and years and years. And wow, next thing you know, you're 50 pounds down. You have more energy. Your blood works better. You're feeling better. You're able to chase your kids around. That's what kicking the crutch is. And once you get rid of these crutches, your life does a complete 180. That's what I did. You don't want to do a 360 because that's just going back to the same spot. So you want to do that 180. And again, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. And I think I mentioned it. I want you guys to think of some of these crutches you have in your life, whether that be the physical, the health-related ones, or it's something in your job or in your schooling. These crutches, these excuses, think about them. Excuse me. Come up with a way, or what these crutches are covering up, what the Band-Aid is covering up. And kind of figure out what are some habits you can start doing to get yourself off these crutches, get rid of these crutches, to rip that Band-Aid off and actually take care of the issue, take care of the problem that is. So hopefully that gives you something to think about. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Hopefully that kind of gives you something in the direction and maybe gets you thinking at least. But again, thinking is only one part of the process. Nothing's going to actually happen until you start taking action on changing these habits. You take the action, then you see the results, and that's when you get the motivation to keep going and keep moving forward. So that's what I have for you today, guys. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want, drop what crutches you have in your life in the comments, and we'll chat about it. Maybe we'll talk about it. We'll see if we can brainstorm some ideas of what you can do to help. Or otherwise, you can shoot me an email, trevor@tagpn.com, and we'll be in touch. Have a great day, guys, and we'll talk to you again soon.